We want to determine the exact value of each of the following. So I'm going to use a unit circle to help with this. So we've got 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and back to 2 pi here. And remember, all of them are positive here, sine only here, tan only there, and cosine only there. So cos 2 pi by 3. So 2 pi by 3 is a bit more than pi by 2, but not as much as pi, so that's going to be in here somewhere. So if this angle here is 2 pi by 3, this one must be pi by 3, because of course pi is 3 pi by 3. So this is our associated acute angle. Now we're in the S quadrant, so the cosine is going to be negative. So it's going to be minus cos pi by 3, and we know the exact value for cos pi by 3, that's half. So this one is going to be negative a half. So let's look at 5 pi by 4. Well, of course, 4 pi by 4 is just pi. So we're going 1 pi by 4 beyond pi. So that would put it down here. So 5 pi by 4 is this angle here, and this angle, as we discussed, is pi by 4. That's our associated acute angle. We're in the T quadrant, so the sign will be negative. So it's going to be negative the sine of a single pi by 4. And we know these exact values. Remember, pi by 4 is 45 degrees if we're in degrees. So that's negative 1 over root 2, or negative root 2 over 2 if we rationalize the denominator. Now we want tan 7 pi by 4. All the way round, 2 pi is the same as 8 pi by 4. So we must be 1 pi by 4 before we get all the way round. So in other words, this angle here is 7 pi by 4, and the associated acute angle is pi by 4. We're in the C quadrant, so the tangent will be negative, so that's negative tan of pi by 4, and we know tan by pi by 4 is equal to 1, so this is going to be negative 1. Now we want sine of 5 pi by 6. Well, pi is 6 pi by 6, so it's going to be just before we get there. So in other words, if this angle just here is 5 pi by 6, we need another pi by 6 in order to get round to pi. So that's our associated acute angle. And of course we're in the S quadrant, so the sign is positive. So this is exactly the same as sine of pi by 6. And sine of pi by 6 is a half. So now we have cos of 7 pi by 6. Well, 6 pi by 6 is obviously pi, so 7 pi by 6 is another pi by 6 beyond. So this angle here is 7 pi by 6, and as discussed, the acute angle here is pi by 6. We're in the T quadrant, so that's going to be minus the cosine of pi by 6, and the cosine of pi by 6 is root 3 over 2. Tan of 5 pi by 3, well, 3 pi by 3 is here. We want to go another 2 pi by 3, that's going to be somewhere in here. And that would leave us another pi by 3. So 5 pi by 3 add pi by 3 is equal to 6 pi by 3. Cancel down, and that's 2 pi. So it's pi by 3 before we get all the way round. So this is our associated acute angle. We're in the C quadrant, so it's going to be negative tan of pi by 3, and tan pi by 3 is root 3.